I tried to destroy my life, but I survived. Okay, take that backpack off, take out all those barbells and weights because this one's a little bit heavy. Let's start this ride. I did. I started in the funeral profession in 2010. It's a profession that is so selfless overall, and you become obsessed to a degree. You become obsessed with always being available to the family over there because you come up with these reasons to, whether it's I want to be better at the craft. I want to help that family because they like me, or they didn't like me and I want to win them over, or we connected on this profound level time after time. If you're on a schedule, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, every other weekend, you somehow, in between the days in which you're off, you somehow justify that you must work and multiply that times 1,000 after so many years. And the next thing you know, your mental health is like scrambled eggs. It happens. I'm Nathan, musician, mortician. I spent 13 years in the funeral profession, licensed in the state of Kentucky. My music is inspired by my works, works that are so selfless and some of the most incredible of people I've met because I was able to meet them during their most delicate of times. Be sure to subscribe, click the bell to be notified when I release content like this because it's like this content, like trying to destroy my life and surviving is where I meet you, whether you have much, little, whether you too have self-destructed. This message will self-destruct. Music. It's this profound thing that connects us. And I used to write what I thought you wanted to hear. This was in 2013, when I was right in the prime of the funeral service. I went through this time where I grieved. I remember going into the funeral service because I was touring and I was like, I'm not making any money. It was awful. I'm drowning in debt. And it was the funeral service that blessed me in so many ways, both monetarily, and it gave me a sense of structure and helped me to not be so selfish. And that I have to tip my hat to. And there are so many families along the way. And along the way, there's this desire to constantly be better to the point of exhausting oneself. And if you look back at photos, probably especially 3 years, 2 years ago, I looked gaunt and broken and exhausted, but the families and I connected on this profound level. I had so much control of self within the four walls of the funeral home. And in the four walls of the funeral home, once I stepped out, however, it was just utter disaster. Disaster in a personal life. No one understood what it is I was dealing with, going through. I would up and leave during Thanksgiving dinners or Christmas not because I was like, okay, bye. It was because I chose the family that called during their most delicate of times. And oftentimes I would insert myself when I wasn't even on call because I would again make these excuses. And there were so many other things that I could tell you, but the funeral service and profession largely unchanged and trying to create this sense of progression within it, it came at a cost of self-destruction to a point. But I always talk about those silver linings because it is even in that where some of the most incredible songs that I've ever written have come to be. Because it is specifically during COVID. There was a time I went to a nursing home, peak of COVID, everyone's still scared. Like they're very fearful of, and I again, if you are still or not, or whatever your thoughts are, there was a huge group of people that were so fearful. I walked into this nursing home and I went to receive a loved one. They're like, oh, I can't go down that hallway. And I'm like, oh, why? And I open the door. They don't follow me. And it looks like E.T. Remember E.T. whenever he's like there's all this plastic. I look down the hallway, this woman's eyes between all of her plastic get up PPP. Yeah, it's not PPE. Thank goodness for all that money. PPP. And she's like, what are you doing here? This is the COVID unit. And I'm like, what? You have 11 people actively dying and you're walking around here? I was like, what the? That was overwhelming. Where was I going with that? Oh, the number of deaths that we all experience, whether it be a personal loss or we saw the numbers just ticking up on the media or whatever it was, we lost something. The economy shut down. Our community shut down. It was a ghost town. And so mental health was shot. Our grief was at an all-time high. And the silver lining was I wrote, because we were serving so many families, and all we were surrounded by was sadness, grief, loss, heaviness, unrest, uncertainty. And I wrote and I recorded and I continued to create. And slowly but surely, I dug myself out of this hole because you started to resonate with and connect with the things that I was putting out there. And a lot of it was so organic, in fact, that there was the red pill and the blue pill. Nathan, do you want to continue on this trajectory, the funeral service, and it ultimately kill you? That sounds very dramatic, but I'm not kidding. I think that if I stayed in at the way and rate I was going, I would have died. My health was shot, not just mental, but I was not sleeping. I was dead. I was a walking zombie. Or the red pill, blue pill, music, creativity, all the things that you were put here to do. I chose this pill right here. And it has not come without stress and grief and sadness and hurt and anger and frustration and worry and doubt. But I know in my heart of hearts that self-destruction happens when we are being a version of ourselves. Because you right now, if you are the most liked person, if everyone likes you, then you're probably pretty miserable. For the most part. Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe if you're this far. Click the bell to be notified when I release content like this. What I mean by miserable is that you are so focused on filling all of those buckets over there and there and there and there that you're not paying any attention to yourself. That was me. That was me. I was not happy. I was a version of. There were points where I was all of myself, but overall I was not. It is in the moment where you live for yourself, and yes, selfishness, there's this healthy selfishness. That's a whole other video. But when you start to realize, wow, these are my needs. This is what I was put here to do. And for me, it's to create and connect with in a profound way. If I'm not creating, if I'm not writing or releasing or connecting with you in this way, then I'm doing this world an injustice. You too. If you love to knit sweaters, then damn it, knit the best sweaters in the entire world. You knit those sweaters. And I understand that life happens. And maybe you're not at a place where you can monetize those knitted sweaters yet, so you have to be an administrative assistant. Absolutely. But I challenge you in this moment, self-destruction no more, by choosing to do the thing that is imprinted on your heart, the thing that burns like a heartburn from eating too many hot dogs at the baseball field. That is the thing that you were put here to do. The world needs you to show up in that way. And the moment that I stopped and I chose that musical creative pill at the cost of literally the life I had created and known, put in a jar or box or whatever and shaken up and then opened up and it's like, now put it all back together. Yeah, I could do that, but it's going to look a lot different. And that's where I am. Self-destruct. Heck yeah, I self-destructed. It was awful. It was horrible. But the silver lining was it was beautiful. Because here we are in this moment right now. The funeral profession, maybe your profession, maybe your life right now, you are everything to everyone but your own self. And there will become this version of you, or there will be this point of, did that usually, do you hear that? There will come this point. You've got the biggest fork in the road, or you're sick, or you feel like you're dying, and you'll choose the path that you were always meant to choose. Isn't that funny how we do that? It's like, oh, it's fine. I know that they say that I'm stupid and I'm the worst boyfriend or girlfriend they've ever had, but the next day they say they're sorry and they love me, so I'll stay. I am in no way making light of, that's a serious thing. That is just an example. That's what we do. Is it Jay? Jay Shetty says, hey, you feel it in your gut? Go with that. Figure out the details later. That's real. It's like the best, easiest advice ever. Are you self-destructing? You got a red pill and you got a blue pill situation here. And I think you know which one to pick. You can either just keep delaying it or, cut the cord. I have absolutely made it out to the other side. My new single, Villain, is out and streaming everywhere. I've released content that I am genuinely grateful that I've done, and I've been able to connect with you in the podcast, The Mortals, or the exclusive group where we're releasing, where we release music. What am I saying? Where we release exclusive drops, musical drops, gum drops, video drops, giveaways, exclusive right there for the mortals. It's been amazing to connect with you on all the socials. I meet you where you are. The funeral profession, I would do it all over again, because during your most delicate of times, I wouldn't maybe have had the opportunity to sit with you. Maybe you come from a different cultural background. Maybe you don't even speak English. I'm the licensed director in the room, and so you have no choice but to sit with me and I with you. And it's pretty amazing whenever there's just that, how you can create and connect with and have profound and lasting relationships. And so the profession, the funeral profession, afforded me the opportunity to realize that you matter, you're worth it, to be slow to anger, to be slower to judge. Hey, have a little compassion for. If you're self-destructing, there's a way, that way. And you know what I mean by that, this way. I appreciate you. I'm grateful for you. Never stop. If you love this video, be sure to give it that's a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe, click the bell to be notified. Maybe share this with someone that you too think could find a little bit of encouragement with it. Are you self-destructing? This message will self-destruct. I mean, you know what's really cool? You might. I was going to make a Mission Impossible analogy, but it just didn't work. I'll see you at the next video.